Hello and welcome. So, if just the thought of the IELTS speaking test makes your heart beat a little faster, you're definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to demystify the entire process and hopefully turn that anxiety into some real confidence by showing you exactly how it all works. This is the big question, isn't it? It's on every test taker's mind because it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of what the examiners are actually listening for. We've got a super clear roadmap for you today. First, we'll decode the test structure itself. Then, we're going to break down each of the three parts with some winning strategies. And to finish things off, we'll give you a core toolkit that you can use across the entire test. Let's get into it. All right, first things first. It really helps to reframe how you think about the test. This isn't an interrogation. It's just a structured three-part conversation that's designed to see what you can really do with the English language. So the test is broken down into these three pretty distinct parts. It kicks off with a simple introduction and interview. Then it moves to a longer individual talk, and it all wraps up with a more complex discussion. Each part has a different goal, so let's tackle them one by one. Let's talk about part one. Think of this as your warm-up. It's your big chance to settle in, make a great first impression, and really show the examiner that you're ready and willing to communicate. Now, this highlights a super common trap. A lot of people go into exam mode, and they get this flat, kind of robotic voice, which actually hurts their pronunciation score. The winning strategy? Think of it as a cafe conversation. Seriously, just imagine you're in a cafe having a chat with the examiner. Just relax, connect, and let your personality shine through. And here's a huge reason you can relax. The questions in part one are all about you, your hometown, your hobbies, your work. What does that mean? It means there are literally no wrong answers. So use this part to build a good rapport and just get comfortable. Okay, now let's move on to part two, where you get the floor all to yourself. This is what's called the individual long turn, and it's your opportunity to speak in a lot more detail on a specific topic. The process is really straightforward. You get a topic card with some prompts on it, you get exactly 1 minute to jot down some notes, and then you speak for up to 2 minutes. And let me tell you, that 1 minute of prep time is absolutely critical. And here's exactly how to use that minute for maximum effect. Don't waste your time brainstorming complex ideas. The topic card already gives you the structure you need. Instead, you've got to focus on the language. Your priority should be jotting down key vocabulary first, then some connecting words, and then maybe thinking about a complex grammar structure you can use. Always language first, ideas second. This is so important to remember. The examiner doesn't care if your idea is groundbreaking or revolutionary. They only care about how well you use English to express it. Just understanding this simple fact can take a whole lot of pressure off your shoulders. This is a big one to avoid. Using those memorized, cliched phrases like "to get the ball rolling," it can actually lower your score because it just sounds so unnatural. Examiners have heard them a million times. Instead, just use simple, authentic connectors to guide your talk. It sounds so much better and it's way more effective. And here's a super practical tip to manage your time. Take a look at the prompts on the card and just aim to spend about 30 seconds talking about each one. This is a great way to make sure you cover everything and you don't finish your talk after just a minute. So part three follows up on the topic from part two, but the questions, they get a lot more abstract. This is a two-way discussion that moves beyond your personal experience and into these broader societal issues. The key skill here is to shift your language. In part three, you really need to move away from purely personal stories. So instead of saying "my brother," you generalize it to something like "young students in my country." This shows that you can discuss ideas in a more academic, abstract way, which is exactly what the examiner is looking for. And you know what? The questions in part three can be tough. So if you don't understand something, do not panic. It is perfectly okay to ask for clarification, but you've got to be specific. Asking something like, "What do you mean by," shows engagement and language skill. Just saying "what?" Not so much. Okay, for our final section, we're going to put it all together into a core toolkit. These are some really powerful strategies you can apply across the entire test to help boost your score. This three-step structure is your secret weapon, I'm telling you. For pretty much any question, you can start by just stating your main idea, nice and clear. Then support it with a reason. And finally, expand on it with an example or a recommendation. This simple framework helps you build full, coherent, and honestly, really impressive answers every single time. So let's quickly define a couple of the key scoring criteria. First up, fluency. This is all about the flow of your speech. It just means speaking at a natural pace, not too fast, not too slow, and without a lot of long, awkward pauses. And then there's coherence. This, on the other hand, is all about logic. It means your ideas are well organized and they're easy for the examiner to follow. And this is where those connecting words we talked about become so important. Think of these signpost words as your tools for coherence. Using them is honestly the easiest way to make your answers sound logical and structured. Words like firstly or next help sequence your ideas, while however shows a contrast. They basically act like little road signs for the listener, guiding them right through your thoughts. So, there you have it, the IELTS speaking test. It isn't some big mystery to be afraid of. It's a conversation to be mastered. And with these strategies, you're not just preparing for a test, you're building real skills for clear, confident communication. So the only question left is, are you ready to make your next conversation count?